Then at the end of at the last chapter here, the steps to successfully manage these emotional triggers is where we land, and this is so critical in dealing with how I'm feeling and the those like you mentioned the lies that we believe about ourselves. It turns around and we the defensiveness wants to cast those lies and blame on someone else. That's what a child would do, turn it around, blame somebody else. Um, so the lies that we believe about the situation that we're in, about ourselves, about other people, listing those out, and then going through and understanding what's the reality. So there's in the book here, there's 6 steps, and we definitely don't want to take away from the book, but drive you to the book to understand and work through this and have this as a tool so that you can really incorporate this in your everyday life. Um, so, so the first one, know your emotional triggers, understanding what those are and memorize them is in the book. If if you memorize them, then you're just more apt to understand where you're what it is, narrow it down and kind of name the thing that you're feeling, right? And some of the lies that I remember, no one likes me, I'm not good enough, I don't know what I'm talking about. You know, some of those lies, but and so those are yeah, like the trigger. The trigger is that I don't matter. It, so many of them kind of filter into that one for me, and that's where I landed. So the trigger, so something has happened, the event is there. Uh, the second is recognize the negative event. These are the events that activate the inner child. Can you go through that? That's the second step. Recognize negative events.
Right. Now, you'd think that would be, pretty self-explanatory. All right, a negative event happened. But see, the thing is, we, again, because we don't like to recognize negative events, we don't like to recognize anything that's going to bring distress into our world, we ignore a lot of things that probably we should at least not maybe let bother us, but at least we should acknowledge. So what happens is, okay, something happens at the gate in the morning, and you're somewhat elevated, okay. And again, we're talking about anxiety. Then something else happens, something else happens, something else happens, and they start to build upon each other. And then you finally get to, it's like, you know what, just push through, just push through, just push through. And eventually you're going to hit a wall. And when you hit a wall, you're going off the side. And that's what's happening. So that's why if I spelled it out individually to say, hey, you know what, a negative event, look at it, just examine it. Does it match up with any of the core emotional triggers? If it doesn't, okay, my kid's not activated, probably let it go. But if it does match with one of these, I can't ignore it. I can't brush it aside. I can't minimize it, which is what we do many times. It's not that big a deal. Let it go, right? I need to know I have to because the kid is rumbling under the surface. All right, he's rumbling now. He's upset by something. And again, if something else were to go wrong, then it could wind up leading to a situation where you might get caught off guard, and then you're off doing something and you're wondering, what the heck, why am I here, and how did I get here?